you give us examples from the many different types of businesses that you've been involved in? You know, you've mentioned the restaurant, you've mentioned the sauces, you've mentioned, you know, the VIP catering, and how you've deployed different pricing strategies in those completely different arenas.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so when we first started the restaurant, obviously we did a price to competition type strategy, meaning what is the like for our menu versus other restaurants, but not just not just our cuisine, but other types of cuisines as well, like your Italians, you know, your French, your Spanish, all the different cuisines, just to get like an average ballpark figure. So chicken for chicken, for example, let's make it really simple, okay? And then we said, yeah, we can match that, and we can play the game. For the sauce business, that was a little bit more trickier because we can't really set the pricing in the supermarket, just to let you know, in retail. It's the supermarket that determines your price, but we can indicate where we would like to sit. So how it works in the supermarket, you've got 3 types of foundations. You've got low, mid, high. Let's do it as simple as that, for example. We wanted to position ourselves as the high brand, meaning the high price brand. We couldn't compete with the low, which is the Tesco everyday, you know, label, for example. And we didn't want to compete with mid because we're competing with people like your big brands that would just eat you up. So what we wanted to do is that we wanted to basically position ourselves as a high premium brand based on our packaging, our ingredients, and our family story. So we did that, and that's how we priced for that. But then obviously we couldn't determine that price, like I said, supermarkets do that. So we have to work with a wholesale price. And that's where we worked out our kind of like our price cost plus. I guess that's the model we used, okay? So that was the cost of the ingredients. We knew the margin that we wanted to make, and then we knew the margin that the supermarket would take. And that's how we kind of like worked out how much could we sell at wholesale. How we did that for internationally, we worked with distributors. We worked with direct to retail. So they have 2 different models again with pricing. And I'm not going to bore you with like loads of percentages because it's very, very like, you know, woo, you know, very, very complex. So the other thing that we did was we then obviously did some VIP catering for quite a lot of big clients, you know, and what we did there was, for example, a sweet and sour chicken on a restaurant is £9.95. When we did the catering, it was £4,000. So you can see the price difference for the same product. It's how we position ourselves. We were the go-to brand if you wanted Chinese catering, freshly done to your home, and we would cook that on your premises, you know, with a set menu, with our team, for how many people you wanted to cater for. And that's how we did that. We priced a position for that particular business. So we did quite a lot of that. That was a very lucrative arm of the business, but obviously extremely tiring because the demands of the client was very, very high, let's put it this way. Nice to have, but didn't really want to do it. And so, you know, rejigged again. And obviously writing cookbooks is great because it's passive income, meaning you do the work once and then you get paid again and again. So we wrote the book. We went with the agent who helped us get it published. That went out to 33 countries. And then we wrote the second book. They all became Times bestsellers. And then the third book, we won the Gourmand Award as well, which is like, you know, the Oscars, but it's like the Oscars for cookbook authors. So we won that for the whole of UK, not just against the Chinese category, but against English, French, Italian, Spanish, Mexican, Greek, you name it, all them types of cuisine. So we competed with that and we won that. And once again, that kind of like elevated our kind of like positioning again. Because we just stuck to our category, which was Chinese food, and we just kept, you know, adding more layers. What I'm doing now with the coaching is that I am doing actually a price to time model right now. That's my introductory model, which is where I basically, you'll do a consultation with me for 1 hour on any business challenge that you're having, and then obviously you just pay a fee for that. But what I'm doing almost like a PT model where you can book out, say, you know, 4 sessions with me or 6 sessions or 12 sessions with me, and we work on a proposal to get you to where you want to go. But my plan is later on, I will be moving to a price to package plan for the coaching business, which I'm quite excited about because it's going to have like 3 tiers there. So it'll have a low, mid, high again. And I guess if you did want to, like, ask me more questions, the best thing is to do it off the group, because I can answer more later for you, bespoke for your types of businesses, and hopefully like point in the right direction.
Great. Well, we've got time for a few questions before we go into breakout groups.
Yeah.
So if everyone wants to go on gallery view, and just raise your hand so I can see you. But I know, Asha, you made a comment there in the chat you might want to say a bit more about. I think I know what you're talking about, but let's share with the group.
I don't know if I should steal a thunder by mentioning it. She's never mentioned a chippy situation that she's got going on that I need to get down to. I know Lisa, by the way, so I can say it like that. But yeah, she's done an amazing project with a chippy that's been in the family for years upon years. And you've not even mentioned that, and how you've renovated it, and you've got your little baba, and you're doing things, having baby on hip, and doing all of this. Who is a cutie I have seen pre-COVID. I'm guessing she's grown loads, Lisa. But yeah, mention the chippy, what you've done with Mabel's.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that one. I have another business which is a classic fish and chip shop and Chinese takeaway, which is a family business. It's been in my family for many, many years, since my grandmother, really. So we kind of like, brought it back really to the area, and we did it, and yeah, it's going well. We're just doing a delivery only model here with our drivers. What I was going to say about it, well, I wasn't expecting to talk about it today. So it's just literally a family business that I've been involved in from the age of 11. Let's put it this way. So it's something that's very close to my heart, that I really look after all my customers, because I've known them for many, many years. But we did it because with lockdown that went on in the area, we wanted to cater for the people that were key workers, which was why we stayed open. So we catered for all our teachers, all our NHS, all our kind of like supermarket workers, and also the elderly that couldn't come out. So we looked after them. We gave them Christmas cards. We have our personal number on. So if you need any shopping done, give us a shout. We did that really for kind of like more community rather than for business. Do you know what I mean? In pricing, what we do there, we have a gluten-free menu. So our gluten-free customers that wanting to eat safe food, they obviously pay a little bit more of the price, the premium to have that. Yeah, so that's my other string to the bow. And yes, I do have a young daughter.
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm getting really hungry now. Is everybody else really hungry?
I'm doing a cooking demo next, actually, just to let you know, for a school.
Okay, so before we go into breakout rooms, let's take a few more comments or questions. Who would like to say something or ask Lisa a question? Just raise your hand.
I think Emma was going to ask where the chippy was.
The chippy's based in Middleton. It's called Mabel's Chippy.
Oh, it's going to have a big queue outside it later on.
There you go, Emma.
Yeah. Patricia, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I had the pleasure actually to visit the restaurant, and I was really amazed, Lisa, by not only the businesses you have, but even how you train new employees. Already I found, like, how you use Facebook, I think, and videos, I found fantastic. It's I got plenty of insights, when we visit you in Manchester, in to the restaurant. I was very curious. Actually, I've used a lot the price per value. Selling services, because we sell scientific services, and time and materials is not a good business for us. It's always positioning value. But now in tech, definitively there is a lot of drivers towards subscription models. And how to actually move. And Microsoft is trying to do that from an on-premise or a point service to actually what you want is to people commit a little bit like what you were saying, 6 or 12 coaching sessions. So I'm curious your ideas of moving customers from a one-off to a subscription model.
Well, it's definitely doable. Everyone's, many industries are moving to that now. Well, subscription, you can have different pricing strategies again, because you can do, the free type first to get them to have a taster session. And then if they do want an extra features, you would then say, well, actually it's now say an extra, I don't know, £20 a month. And then for the VIP experience, it's £50 a month, but it's really down to how you tailor the menu for your subscription model and what the customer really wants. So hopefully that answers your question in just a nutshell, do you know what I mean? But it is literally down to, being quite strategic in terms of what information you give for the subscription model for your app or tech or whatever that you're doing. And, similar, if you kind of like look at Zoom that we're on right now, for example, you got the free one, which is 40 minutes free, limited number of people. Then you've got the paid one, which is what I paid for. Then you can do webinars for up to 100 people, which I am doing as well for some of my customers. And then you've also got the premium version, for the bigger types of customer base that wants the extra benefits. But a subscription model is definitely a great way to get recurring revenue, for your business. And it's literally down to structuring it the best way you can without giving it all away for free on the first option. But once they've had the taste and they get hooked on it, then you can say, well, I'll release those features that you want if you just pay that £20 a month. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really interesting to observe. Okay, does anyone have one last comment or question before we go into breakout groups?
I've got one. I'm combining what Emma's asked with, so she's asked a question around launching a new tech product and which would be the best pricing model, with something you just said, Lisa, about how you give people a taster and then move them on. And I think maybe what you're doing with your startup coaching might be a helpful demonstrator for us working in tech. So if you've got a new product and you know all the features, you know some things might stick and some might not. How do you determine, is there a nice easy model for determining how you separate which feature would work best, as a premium thing? And how do you go about doing experimentation to determine that?
Well, like I said, it's really understanding what the customer needs are. That's a very, very big question to answer, really. For the best pricing model, okay, so non-tech. Is the question on the non-tech product, did you say? Or was it something else?
Oh, this is a tech product.
A tech product.
Yeah.
Tech product, okay. So I think if you can look at what other people are doing, you can model that in tech world. It's similar when I'm in the food business. You have to model similarly what's happening there. They will have a similar model. So for example, say if you wanted to go on a dating app, okay, just to make it really easy for you to understand, you can have the free one once again. But if you want to message another guy that you fancy or a girl, you've got to pay to do that messaging. So you've got to know what's those triggers that you can release to then start charging. Do you know what I mean? Say for example, Canva as well. Canva's a great example. Say you really, really like that design, but then it's got the copyright thing on you. You've got to get that copyright, then you've got to pay to get that copyright off, or you pay to access the other fonts, the other backgrounds, the other stuff like that. And yeah, it's just, like I said, it's really doing the homework. I can't really answer it. Like, it's quite a massive question, if I'm honest with you, but I would probably need to do a bit more digging around for you if you wanted more.
I think what Chi Chi's just done is realize that we're on the free model now, and she's trying to get the value out of you, Lisa. And you're going, yeah, it's in here. But you're going to have to go on a revenue model here if you want to find it.
I'm not that quick at coloring on those things. I'm good at the tech, but yeah, no. It was just putting Emma's question forward because I know she's working on a tech product. But
I mean, also the other thing I would add is psychological pricing. I don't know if you know about that. You know, instead of like saying it's £15, like $14.99, something like that. You know, it's just these little tweaks. So people go like, oh yeah, I can afford that. It's £9.97. It's not £1,000. But really, you know, you're still getting your target is £1,000 for the product, but you price it at £9.97. You probably get more sales at £9.97 than you want at £1,000. So a bit of psychology pricing as well will help. You know. So for example, like our sauce, I use that as again another example because. You know, we priced at say $2.50, but if you price at $2.49, we noticed volumes went up versus $2.50, which was crazy. But that is just how people's brains work. Think, oh, actually, you know, it's less than £3, so I'll buy it. But $2.50, got $2.50. I'm not paying $2.50 for a jar of sauce. You know, it's a very strange world out there, but that's how psychology works.